Welcome to Sis Take Care, the podcast. I'm your host, Alexandria Berrigan Harris, and excited to be with you today. And this is the space where care intersects with everything faith, hope, and love. And today I want to lovingly call out, or rather call in, my introverts. If you're an introvert, drop that in the chat. Let me know that you're in the building. And I appreciate y'all. I want to say this is so loving. So let me just go back. Let me take a step back. Personality types, okay? Introvert, extrovert, or what some people might call ambivert. I think we get it all wrong. We don't really have good definitions for these things that are working across the spectrum. We think that extrovert means loud and always the life of the party, and introvert means super quiet and they're very shy and they don't like to talk. And these things are kind of further from the truth, right? I'll give you a great example. I'll give you a wonderful example of that. Beyoncé is an introvert. Yes, I know. You're like, are you sure? I'm pretty sure. I am pretty sure that she's an introvert based on her interviews, based on how she communicates about her personal life. Because the reason we think that introverts mean shy is because they're more deliberate about how they use their energy when it comes to other people. So introverts get energy from being alone, being able to concentrate, and then they use that energy to go do the great thing that they love to do. Extroverts get energy from being around other people, right? So their tank gets filled up by engaging, learning, asking questions, being in conversation with other people, and then they take that energy and then they go do the great thing that they love. Right? You see the difference? So it's not about who's louder. It's not even about who talks more. It's about how do you get your energy. So yes, Beyoncé the introvert. And a number of other highly successful, very visible entertainers and entrepreneurs that I've met in person. I've met many of them in person. Some of them are not only introverts, but extreme introverts. They need to recharge immediately after they've done a workshop or done a talk on stage or have performed, right? They've performed a poem. They're like, woo, that took everything out of me to engage with the audience in that way. I need to go retreat so I can get refreshed. Versus an extrovert who is going to perform that poem or sing that song and be filled up by the crowd's reaction and the audience engagement. And they're going to be more excited to go and do more of what they love, right? Because of that energy. So this is really the main misconception or the mistake that people make about extroverts and introverts. And also that your personality type can change over time. It can change based on your age, based on life circumstances, all kinds of things. So you may have found that you were more introverted when you were younger, and as you've gotten older, you've come out of your shell more, and you get your energy in different ways. And so now you're able to engage more, and that's exciting for you, and you love it there. Or you could be the reverse. You could be more like me. Well, I was extremely gregarious as a younger person, even more so than now. And I love to speak and write, and I love to give trainings and speak on stages and host panels. And I love that work. But I find that because I'm also a caregiver to aging parents and also to a child who has special and high needs, that I'm a little bit more introverted than I used to be, where I need to have alone time and downtime, more of it than when I was younger, before I was a parent. Shout out to my parents and my folks over 40 who are like, I need to recuperate and recalibrate, okay? Remember we used to go to the club on Saturday and maybe Sunday, or maybe we did a Thursday and a Friday special. We did 2 different ones, or even a night. Okay, now listen, I don't know how young I was, okay, but I was there. I used to be her, okay? We go to 2 clubs in one night. We go to one club and we get in from 10 to midnight and leave that place and go to another location and go still have fun. And then if it was a Saturday night, we'd get in, go to Waffle House, Okay, go to Waffle House on the way home from the second location. So the Waffle House is third stop. Get a little snacky snack. And then turn around, go home, get a little nap, and still get up for 11 o'clock service for Sunday church. Anybody with me? Anybody remember those days? I do. Okay, I remember her. And now I'm like, one event, okay? One event. I need to go home and recuperate from that one event. These knees are not Megan's knees anymore. I did the wobble. We Cupid shuffled. Okay, we where them fans at? We did all that. And now I want to go home and lay down. Give me 24 to 48 hours before I respond to any text messages or phone calls, okay? I need to recuperate. I had a great time. It was a blast. And now I need to go lay down. So things can change. I just want to say that your personality, I say all of that to say your personality is not your identity, okay? So you have an identity, a core identity that's separate from your personality type. And it's okay if that changes or shifts. It's really about, are you showing up as the best full self for you? But for those who are lifelong introverts or those who feel like, hey, I'm introverted and it's a limitation, it's a barrier. If I wasn't this introvert, then I could do so much more. Those extroverts have it easier. I can't get up on stage and talk. I can't sing the song that I wrote. I wouldn't be able to do all these other things in life because I'm an introvert. If you're using that as a stumbling block, you are always going to fall. I want you to be able to know, introverts everywhere, that it is not a stumbling block. Let me tell you first, the mistakes that you're making about thinking that you're an introvert, you might not even be. Keep listening, okay? Just let me cook. Let me cook a minute. My good sis, Kiara Sade, aka Shmoney, she posted something online that was really great. She was like, you're confusing introvert for insecure. Woo! I said, oh, it's on now. I have coached a lot of businesses, 5, 6-figure, 7-figure businesses, and have encountered that insecurity that comes with the work. Even, here's the thing, keep listening, even when you are super accomplished and successful. That's usually shocking. You run $1 million company, and I'm still getting insecurity. Oh, because you're an introvert. You think that this is just the way that it has to be. I've talked to those folks. I've talked to folks who run amazing nonprofits, have given back in amazing, incredible ways, have helped to change lives. And we still run up against this wall of, I can't go live. I can't ask for donor funds. I don't know how we're going to do this next thing. You know, I'm more shy. I'm more introverted. Maybe somebody else should be the face of my organization. Maybe somebody else should be the face of my business because I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to get out there and talk to people. I'd rather stay behind the scenes. And I've been called the introvert whisperer because I understand introverts. I definitely do. And I have such a compassion for those who genuinely experience like anxiety and stress if they have to go do something that directly engages with people. That's uncomfortable, right? Public speaking is actually the second biggest fear across the world for many people, next to death. So it's actually not lost on me that there are a number of people who feel like I can't do that. I wasn't made that way. My personality doesn't suit me to do that. But I want to come up with a few things that we need to discuss. The challenge is not you being an introvert. The challenge is you being insecure. Stay with me. The insecurity and how you can differentiate insecurity from being an introvert is it's around the limiting beliefs that you continue to experience, the negative self-talk that you're giving to yourself, the inner critic that is tearing you down and telling you that you can't do it and that you're not good enough, even when you absolutely are. This can also show up as like imposter syndrome, where you continue to doubt your ability and skill, even after you've proved that you can do the work. Like you have a track record that says you can do the work, and you still disbelieve or doubt yourself to show up and do the work. That's why it's called imposter syndrome, because no one who is an actual imposter has imposter syndrome. Only people who are qualified and sometimes overqualified are sitting back there going, but what if I can't do it the next time? But what if they expect me to have it perfectly completed and it's not done right? But what if I make a mistake? It's doubt. All of that self-doubt that comes from just not being secure in showing up. Everybody makes mistakes. We know that. Everybody makes mistakes. And yet we think it's a special occasion and something that should prevent us from moving forward if we consider that we might make a mistake. Here's another way that it shows up. Perfectionism, right? The idea that I need to get it right just enough, a little bit more than anybody else. And that creates conflict and tension in our own thoughts and our own well-being. Perfectionism is actually a misnomer. It's actually just insecurity, and it's procrastination dressed up in fancy clothes. It doesn't get you results. It actually doesn't even give you the opportunity to show up and try and see what happens. What's wrong with that? Because self-doubt says, well, if I can't be certain that I'm going to do it correctly, then I shouldn't do it at all. The inner critic says, you're going to fail anyway, so why should you even try? The insecurity says, but what if somebody, asks me a question I don't know how to answer? The imposter syndrome says, what should I even, why am I even here? Why did they even invite me? There's somebody else more qualified. There's somebody else better than me that should be in this role. All of these things are keeping you from purpose. All of these things are keeping you hindered from success. And then to layer it with indecision. Indecision, now that's the one that will get us in a chokehold every single time. You're not stumbling and struggling because you're an introvert, but you're struggling because you're indecisive. And you got two good options. And because you're not certain, because you're insecure, all of these things compounding up, right? Because of the imposter syndrome, you paralyze, or as in between two decisions. You're in freeze mode, okay? There's fight, flight, freeze, fawn, forest, I don't know, whatever the other F words are, right? And you're frozen and you're looking around and saying, where do I go? Which way do I look? Should it be left? Should it be right? And as both decisions sit in front of you, time's running out, you lose access to both of them. And so then it reinforces your negative beliefs about yourself. See, you can't ever get it together. See, you're not the best person for the job. Somebody else would have made a better decision. They would have known what to do, and I don't. And now you're in a cycle where you're stuck believing that you can't, when in actuality, you are extremely capable and very much can. But you got to decide. You got to make a decision. Don't let indecision make you believe being an introvert is a problem or a stumbling block, because it's not. Don't let trying to be perfect, which isn't even the goal, keep you from stepping into your power, whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, an ambivert, anybody-vert, okay? Gerald Levert. So you need to step into your power no matter what. Personality type aside, don't let imposter syndrome or anything else get in your way. All right. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Sis Take Care. Please subscribe and like. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Peace.